Hey guys, Mongoose 68. Let me show you what I used to race back in the late 80s, early 90s. My brother and I built two identical 65 GTOs back in the 86, 87, 88. That's what I raced. We built it. You know, on a good day, it'd run 1141s, 160, 117 miles an hour. So we've been into cars for a long time. There was what used to have it. You know, I'm from Wichita, Kansas. Used to have Rollers Auto Glass there. Here's an old Pontiac leaving real hard down at Thunder Valley in Oklahoma. That was last Christmas. Oh, that was the last Christmas party. Can't say that. We've been into 55s a long time. This is the car I had in high school. Had drop spindles on the front of it. The axle was, put underneath the leaf springs in the back to get it up to height. It was a brand new color back in '68. It was a Firebird green. My buddy Dale Henley painted it. We worked at Pepsi-Cola. Yeah, it had a 327, kind of a semi-nasty cam in it. It was a nice running car. It had, I think, a 390 rear end in it. That's it. When I first got the drop spindles put on it, had the real gasser look to it, but it was the Bel Air hardtop, had all the fender stainless on it. It's a nice car. Somebody put a 327 in it. Now back to the immediate 55. You probably noticed in that last video there was a placer on the fender. That's what I've been addressing the last week or so. This fender had been hit real hard in the bottom of it, so I put on the patch panel, from here to here. It was done, and when I pulled the fender off to finish the inside of the fender, where the lap joint on this side of the fender, there was a little bit of a gap. I did not weld the inside due to the fact I didn't want any more warpage on it. I've done all the welding on all the car, but I had some self-etching primer that I sprayed on and let it wick down into that gap to offset any future rust added in there. But little did I know that after the fender set for about the better part of a week, that self-etching primer apparently went down and dissolved that fiberglass Bondo and the stuff I had over the welding seam. Because when I welded it, when it was still hot, I tapped it in to make sure it was a low, so I could fill it in and make sure it flowed with the fender. Well, I took the block and sanded it, and it sanded down. And got smooth again, but then the more I thought about it, I would just couldn't handle it if it got out there in the hot sun here in Kansas and started bubbling up again. So I ground it all back off. Didn't find anything that was soft and or debonded, so I probably wasted my time. But I'm going back with it, and this is the only body work left on it. So, but that's all part of it. That's what I've been doing. The back there, you can't see it in the video, but it's still shiny. Got a few AC parts. I'm starting to kind of do some work on the AC. Got some pre-bent lines. The dryer. Figured out where I can mount it. So, but the Darrell Starbridge Devlin custom car shows this weekend. Like I said, the video the other night. But this has been into cars a long time. Like I said, that car up there, that took first in the nation up in '89 at the Ohio International GTO show. I wasn't racing it then, but my brother and I we built two identical GTOs. That's when I put it back into racing, or built it for racing, probably in early '90s. Ram Air 4 heads. But it was a fun car to drive. Good night, guys. Bye.